Welcome, everyone, to Monday Moxie Comics Talk on CLOBBERIN Times. With me tonight is the most wonderful guest, the greatest guest ever, the most beautiful, amazing purple Valkyrie you're ever going to see. He's the only purple Valkyrie, but you know.
Good evening, Clubby. So good to be back,
Oh.
and I missed that intro. It's so good.
Oh, thank you for being nice to me after screwing up the intro so bad. You didn't have to. You could have told me that was what a dumbass I am. I can take it. I love you, Purple. Great to see you. I miss hanging out with you. How are you tonight, today, this morning?
Doing well, thank you. Yes, really missed you guys. So great to be back. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Like I said, miss you big time. Yes, welcome everyone to CLOBBERIN Times. This year number, 367 on YouTube, but 1,067 overall. For some reason I was allowed to do 1,066 of these, and it may end up being 1,067 unless I am struck down in the middle of this show and it's erased from existence or something like that. Which could, well, with Purple here, it probably won't happen.
No,
just me though.
We're not going to let that happen.
Thank you. If it were just me, I'd been in big trouble here. Quick show notes before we say our hellos. By the way, I want to thank everyone who hung out with us. What a wild Saturday night Star Trek we had this past week. We had Sub Rosa, considered one of the worst episodes of Star Trek of all Treks. I don't know who did all that graffiti. Hey, who did that vandalism on my picture? We had this. You remember this horrible episode? You remember this one?
I do vaguely. Yes, it was, as you say, one of the worst episodes, and I think whoever did that made a vast improvement.
I don't know who did that. I can't. I'll find the culprit who did that. Me, but I went a little nuts on it. But you know something interesting about that episode? The other the 4 episodes we reviewed the other night. Purple is I did a survey of 2 of the 4 episodes, which was the worst, because this is considered one of the worst Star Trek episodes of all time. And half of this one. Masks was everyone voted 50-something%. This was worse than Sub Rosa.
That's stiff competition, to be fair.
I thought it would be a closer race because Sub Rosa is pretty bad, but Masks is terrible. Terrible. Now, real show notes, everyone. Again, as we did Saturday night. Yay! Still, it's always this year going to be 40th anniversary of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Yes. More on that later. We'll be doing some con stuff later. The date has been changed. 6/30/22, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. My ConAcon 2 panel. My wonderful retro blasting friends, of course, who are putting on the 2nd annual iConAcon, which is an online convention that we had a fantastic time doing last year. I did a panel and sat on other panels, and they were allowing me to do a panel again this year. It will be again June 30th, and it will be 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 8 Central, and it will be about toy comics. As you know, and those who know Retro Blasting and their marvelous channel, it's mostly about toys and you know, of the 80s and 90s, toys and cartoons and a lot of other things. Not so much comics, but I did a comics panel last year called Comic Shops of the 80s, and we had a wonderful time doing this, and so I'm honored that I get to do the comics channel.
Are you implying that you used to have a comic shop?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Go ahead. Now, Eric K. Thanks a lot, Purple. Now, Eric K. is going to pick on me. Thanks a lot. See, Purple's got an evil streak you guys don't see. And but I'm going to do these toy comics panel with the great Michael French from Retro Blasting, good old Jeff Barker from 80s Chasing Toys, and Matt Swafford of Endless Bullets Podcast. Looking forward to that. See how mean Purple is? Wow. Now watch. I'm going to get picked on now. Oh no, Eric K is going to be mean to me.
I remember last year when you did those panels. They were a lot of fun. It was great to see.
Oh, it was great. You know, they really helped me with my channel when, you know, that was what kind of helped me a lot. And of course, Michael and Melinda have been friends for many years. This is their 10th anniversary for their channel. And they have Retro Blasting. If any of you have not checked out Retro Blasting, I highly recommend them.
Great
they're really amazing. Yeah, and they're just wonderful friends of mine. So I love them. Thank you, Eminem. Appreciate you. And now how about for some hellos, some greetings. I want to thank Mr. Salty Texas, it's an honor to have you here, and thank you for that 99-cent super sticker. I can't see the sticker because
It's popcorn.
Oh, well, that's perfect, dude. And he doesn't even know me, and he knew and he picked the perfect thing because I love popcorn.
Me
and
too.
now I
Popcorn's
want
great.
some.
I was very jealous of that popcorn bucket. I think you guys got. I know the
Oh,
film
yes.
wasn't particularly great, but the
Doctor Strange
Doctor
popcorn
Strange,
box.
yeah, that thing was amazing.
Box. I still have popcorn in it. Well, I just poured it out the other day, but I for like 2 weeks I left a little bit of popcorn in there for some strange reason. Get it? Sorry, but that was the best thing about going to the movie to see Doctor Strange and the multi mess of madness was, in fact, getting that cool popcorn box thingy.
You guys have the best popcorn containers. The one that I loved the best was the Ecto one for Ghostbusters. That was so cool.
I didn't get that one, and it wasn't here. But fortunately, our buddy Mark D was able to get his, and a lot of people were. But I heard there was one for the Batman, like a Batman, but I didn't see that one either. But this one was too. I'm going $25, but it looks so ridiculous. I gotta have it. What the hell? It was pretty cool. Hello there, Snorta Poopies. What's up, buddy? J-Man's here, the great J-Man, buddy. Always good to see you. I know you had to run a little bit. That's fine, brother. I know it's late for you there, but he has a great channel. Everyone, he's a great friend of the channel. We love J-Man. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, great to see him again.
And look who's here, of course. Already the aforementioned troublemaker, the Bronze Surfer, Eric K. What's up, bud? The Surfer of Bronze is here. And he's probably being mean to me right now. I can't even see it yet. I have the chat held back so I can see everything. I've got some weirdo in the chat by the name of VALKYRIE. No.
Never heard of her.
Who was that? Who's that? Fanty, Phantom Outsider, who I'm changing I now call Fanty, because if I have to be Clobby, you have to be Fanty. It's just you deserve it for the way you pick on me, dude. The great D. Bud Martin, the man of iron. What's up, brother? Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Athena follower, hello there. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sorry, everyone. I want to make sure I say hello to everyone who was here. And look, a busy chat, but it looks like everyone's just hanging out and talking. So, yes, again, Monday. Thank you all for the M's for Mark C, the great Mark C, and Steve Mitchum. What's up, Maddie's daddy, brother? Good to see you. Hungry Boy's here, or as he is known tonight, hungry for more Orville, a.k.a. good writing.
Yes.
Amen. Yes. I'm so pumped up about the Orville. Oh, boy, here we go with the bots. But I know my friends will have them. So.
They're out early today. That's good to see.
They sure are. Good Lord. Mark D with the C, the great chief engineer. What's up, bro? Has a new video out today. Please go check that out, everyone. He's what he calls purple. He calls them enabling videos because he shows, some new toy or some new acquisition he's made.
Yes, I've been watching them. I'm more than a little bit jealous, I've got to admit.
Yeah, he's got yeah, but don't be too jealous because he needs like about 5 more houses to put all that stuff in.
Yeah, what? Details.
Yeah, at least you have it though. Even if no one can see it. Apollo meets Minion and the Pupper. Hey. Athena, look, I say it. I scream that to the 4 winds. The Orville is Star Trek now. It's Star Trek under an assumed name. And even though this is a comics talk show, I'm sorry, I'm so excited about the Orville, and there are Orville comics, so technically,
there is, exactly, yes.
I thought Purple and I might talk a little bit about that since we have not formally spoken about that 3rd season premiere. Electric Sheep. Wow, and wow. Huh?
That was such a great show. I had high hopes for it because it's been so long since we had any Orville, and it kept getting pushed back, and the fans were so desperate for good TV, and we had such two great previous seasons, especially season 2, I think, with the 2-part episodes. Yes. But this first season was amazing. Not what I expected. I thought it was going to be a lot more lighthearted. It was going to ease us into it, but it dealt with some very serious topics. But I thought it was handled incredibly well. I was very, very impressed with this first episode.
Hungry for Orville, aka Good Writing, just won the internet, Purple. He said the Orville is its Trek and a witness protection program. Dude, I would steal that from you if I could get away with it. That's perfect. That's fantastic. Oh my God! But you're so right. It was disturbing. They showed a lot of courage going with a downer episode like that, but downer in the best possible way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what. No, I didn't. Hey, Jay, man, don't believe anything Mark D says. Not only did I not get a Funko Pop, when I see a Funko Pop, it gets destroyed. Kyle, buddy, what's up? I am the clobberer of Funko Pops. Funkum.
Yes, Clobby is very much anti-Funko. As much as you like action figures, Funko Pops are the bane of your existence.
Funko Pops are not toys, folks. They are dust collectors, as the great Michael French says. Now, I might have a little bit more respect for them if they weren't so useless that people leave them in the boxes all the time. I know I guess some people take them out. And if you take them out, then, I almost respect that. But a lot of people just leave them in the damn boxes, do they not?
They do. Most people do seem to leave them in the box. I've got to admit, I've got a couple, but the ones that I do have, I actually had signed, so they do make quite nice. Once they've been signed by whoever, if it's an actor or something, they do look pretty cool. I think the one that I've got is actually. Could I do a shout out for one of my favorite actors?
Of course,
it's his birthday.
Sure, go for it.
So one of the ones that I've got is actually signed by Robert Englund, and it is his 75th birthday today.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That's a coinky dink that you mentioned him, because I've just been watching him on something. But I love him. He's a great actor.
I do too. He's always been one of my favorites, and not just because I'm a big horror fan. I remember watching him in V, and he was just a really good actor, and he's a really lovely guy as well. If you ever get to meet him.
I was just watching V. You've been watching V also?
I haven't watched it for a while, but I do remember watching it quite a bit back in the day. I think it's because it was so different, the whole idea
I've been
of
watching it right now, yeah.
You're watching it now? Oh, nice.
I'm watching V, the series, for the first time since it first aired, because it's on Tubi. And I remember watching the miniseries both over and over again, both of them. But I haven't watched the series since like the first couple of episodes back when it first was on. But he was on the series as well. And I've been watching that. Thank you, Eric K, for the $2 super chat. Says, only Funko Pop Club he has is the Wesley Funko. Yeah, you wish. I think we have to address a serious question here, though, Purple. Our good buddy Salty Texas C says, can we all agree that the Gina Carano Funkos are cool? The only reason I can't, Salty, is because we don't know each other that well, but if you knew how much I love The Thing, you would then conclude that, well, I bet he at least loves a Thing Funko Pop, but I won't even buy those. In fact, they made Arrow could not be reached for further comment. Purple, they made a gigantic, like a monster-sized thing.
Yes, I've seen those ones. They're like 10 inches tall or something. Yes.
Something like that. And I was in Target one day, and I saw it, and I was almost, oh, no, it's the Thing. I got to have this. And I looked at it long enough and go, it's still Funko Pop. Screw them. And I didn't buy it. I didn't. And it's the Thing. So what if the Thing can't get me to buy a Funko Pop, what do you think? Nothing. Right?
I don't have the hatred for them that Clobby has, but I don't have a Gina Carano one, but I've seen them, and if I remember correctly, they were really hard to get at one point, obviously when she got cancelled.
Oh, I imagine they are still hard to get, right? Imagine. The Funko or any other one, right?
Yes, I was lucky enough to get one of the little figures, the little carded figures that they do.
Oh, yes.
So that's pretty cool. I've got one of those. But yeah, I remember back in the day, anything that was Gina Carano was selling like gold dust.
So this is justice for Funko. Hey, look, I love Gina. I mean, I love her to death. I mean, it's just that if I won't buy a Funko for my favorite all-time character, I mean, who would I buy a Funko for? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't even buy a Funko of Raquel Welch, and that's saying something.
Really?
I don't even know what, because it would look terrible. I would rather just buy a pinup, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hear them. No. And you know what the funny thing about that is, Michael also hates him, but he gets sent to people send him to them, and that's why you should see his video he did a few years ago about it, about Funkos.
What did he do? I didn't
Well,
see that one.
he was nice, because people sent him to him, and he says, "Look, if you like him, fine." But he basically very nicely gave his opinion on how much he can't stand him. If I'll try to, if I can dig that video up later, I'll send it to you. I'm sure it's still on there somewhere. It was about 3 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago, and he just kind of made an off the cuff, unplugged type video about how much he can't stand him. So look, I don't begrudge anyone else owning them except for Fat Steven. I don't want him. I want him to get rid of all of his for no particular reason. Just because because he likes them too much. He's got an amazing collection of them. Really.
Yes, I remember that was a hell of a collection.
Yep. But I'll tell you, Orville though, I needed that so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and look, even if I love the episode, but even if it had been just like okay, which it wasn't, I thought it was brilliant. I would have been to have something to look forward to is really great. And then when you get it, and it doesn't disappoint, or it doesn't make, or forget doesn't disappoint, if it doesn't make you want to, well, again, punch the entire universe. If it doesn't make you angry, that's pretty good. That's a victory almost. And this it far exceeded my expectations, and but even if it had just been, that's good, we'll see what happens next week. Mm-hmm. That would have been, after sitting through Opie Wank, that very day, and then Strangled New Worms, which is pissing me off, not just because of how bad it is, but how so many people are just, I don't know how people look. Stockholm Syndrome. If you like Strangled New Worms and you're a Star Trek fan, I guess you have Stockholm Syndrome because I don't understand it. It's garbage. Pop Culture Curator, how are you doing there? Good to see you, my friend.
Yes, we talked about this in the green room briefly, and we were surprised how lenient people have been because there has been a lot of hate, obviously, and rightly so, for STD and Picard, but people seem to be a lot more forgiving for this one.
This one is worse to canon than those shows are, or just as bad. And it's written on the same childish, garbage, shitty level that all the bad reboot sucker outhouse shows are. It's all trash. I mean, how is it any better? In fact, it's worse because they're calling that ship the Enterprise, and they're calling that guy Pike, and they're calling that little wuss face Spock. It's disgusting.
Yes. And this is a shame because I like Ensign Mounts. I think he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing about that, Perp. Look, I hate STD. Most people agree that STD sucks. And yet, Jason Isaacs, who is a scumbag, but he's a really good actor.
Yes.
That doesn't make that show any good just because he's a good actor. Hey there, Tim the Enchanter. Yes, Nurse Chapel. I hear you about the why there, Salty, but she shouldn't even be on the show yet. And she shouldn't be on it. Uhura shouldn't be on it. Dr. Mabenga shouldn't be on it. And the Noonian chick shouldn't be on it. The show shouldn't be made for that matter. But I mean, oh, God. And yes, you might say, well, why are you watching it then? Because, I want to inform myself on it. It is, you can call it hate watching if you want. But, anything how can you not hate watch it? Because, either don't watch it, but if you watch it, it's going to be hate watching because it trashes everything that went before it. It shows horrible disrespect to canon. And then people who claim to be Trek fans are just sucking it up with a straw. They're like little hogs to the trough by the corporate trough. Whatever the corporate overlords slop out. This is just like 2009 when people like that Jar Jar Abrams garbage shit movie and just sucked it up because they were told to because it had the goddamn label Star Trek on it. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got a lot to answer for when it comes to Star Trek. Absolutely.
And one way I can kind of dovetail the Orville thing back to comics, because by the way, the Orville comics that have come out have been pretty good, by the way. But
I've heard that. I've never actually read them, but a lot of people that have had them said they were really well done.
Yes, they're pretty good. And here's the thing here's an analogy to comics that I can make about that. In the same way that the Orville is Star Trek now. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, Purple, but I was not too fond of the John Byrne Superman reboot of the mid 1980s. I think you're aware of that.
You may have
And,
mentioned it, yeah, in passing.
in passing. And since I love the Silver Age and Bronze Age Superman, and he was gone, the one I loved had been destroyed by John Byrne's arrogant ass. Along about 10 years later, around 1995 or 6 or somewhere up in there, Alan Moore took a really crappy Rob Liefeld character called Supreme, who was worthless, and Alan Moore gave him the Alan Moore treatment. And for a good 4, 5, 6 years there, it was like I got my Superman back. It was that good. It was that level. It was brilliant. He just had a different name and a different look, a different color costume. It was Superman Incognito as Supreme. And this feels like that to me. Like they had to disguise Superman to let Alan Moore write him correctly. Well, this is the same deal. They had to disguise Star Trek to let Seth MacFarlane make proper Star Trek. So it's under a different name with some differences here and there. But the spirit, the intelligence, and the characterization of the best of Star Trek is all there.
Yes, and you can see the love that he has for Star Trek, because this could have been a straight up parody, had he wanted it to be. This could have been you poking fun at the tropes, but it's not. It's an homage to it,
Yes.
which is great to see. And
Yes.
a lot of people didn't like Galaxy Quest, but I always loved
Galaxy
that
Quest.
film. I thought that was great, and this is, for me,
I
in
love
the
it.
same vein, but obviously not quite as jokey. But
No.
yeah,
I love the Galaxy Quest.
you can see the love with the Orville. And I'm just really glad, one, to have it back, and two, that the fans never turned their back on it. How many times throughout the last couple of years have people said, please bring back the Orville, we want the Orville, when's the Orville coming back? And Seth MacFarlane knew that, and if I remember correctly, they were actually putting pressure on him to focus on Family Guy. That's what they wanted. They didn't want him doing the Orville, but he stuck to it, and we now we have this great show again.
And I thank him so much for it. Hey, Zax, you Hulk villain. What's up?
Hey, Zax.
And he had to kind of make it look like he was giving them sort of a comedy space type show rather than what he wanted to do. And knowing how much we know now that he loves Star Trek, I would say to you that if he had thought back whenever he pitched when he started making the Orville, if he was under the opinion that Bad Reboot and those people were making proper Star Trek, I don't think he would have tried to make the Orville. I really don't. He's that much of a fan. I don't think he would have said, they're doing Star Trek, I want to rip it off. I just don't believe that. Maybe it's true, but I don't. I think he is like us. Now, he's in the business. He's got to play the game. He can't come out and say, those guys really suck. Although he has said things like, we want to make a more hopeful Star Trek, like the old school, without taking their backhanded swipes, but they're not like front-handed. And yes. I do believe that if he liked that trash that Klutzman and Abrams put out, he would not have bothered making the Orville. Clearly, he saw that there's that void there, that there are still people who want to see real Star Trek. And he proved that was there. And yes, he had to kind of slip it under the radar as some kind of comedy. And at first it had a lot of, he's toned down the comedy quite a bit. There's still the sense of humor is there, but he's toned. And I love even the silly, ridiculous comedy put in there. But you can see it was kind of weird to get used to at first. I can understand that.
It was more kind of slapstick to begin with, and now it's a lot more refined. But you're right, the humor is still there, but at the same time they can balance it out, as we've seen with tackling some very serious topics. Especially this first episode. This was quite a hard hitting one.
Absolutely, Pop Culture Republic. Hey there, absolutely. It was brutal. It was. I think some of the writing and directing in this is some of the most brilliant things I've seen in a long time. Eric K with the $2 super says, Clobby is giddy for the upcoming Wesley show. Yes, I am. Giddy to throw myself off of something if there really is an upcoming Wesley show. But yes, Purple, there are bits in this episode. I guess, are we being spoilery?
Let's ask the chat. Has everybody seen it, or is there anybody
who cares about it? Seen
it
already?
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
But if you haven't seen it, we recommend it.
Yeah, if you haven't, then yeah, I'll just say there's some stuff in this episode that are with how I would say, like, with things that he does with direction in terms of the camera and the
Mm-hmm.
background sound, focusing on Isaac's quote unquote face,
Mm-hmm.
that he gets more emotion out of that blank face with the two blue eyes than any of the idiot CW writing morons who write for STD or P Hard or Strangled Nude Worms or any of that other shite in any CW show or anything. This is a guy. What McFarlane has done. Let's see. He has gotten more. He has made a better character out of a slithering, talking ball of snot. Than is a better character than all the ones on STD and P Hard and Strangled Nude Worms combined. Voiced by a great comedian, God rest his soul. It was tough hearing that
Mm-hmm.
voice. Now we know he's gone. But the character of
Yes.
Yaphet is a more well-rounded, no pun, an interesting and well-written character than any of the ones on any of that track. And that's just one character. He's a slithering ball of snot, and he's better than any of the crap
Mm-hmm.
garbage characters who run around in corridors and talk about their fifis and cry all the time.
Well,
And
the entire bridge crew, you know who they are. Whereas we're 4 seasons into STD, and I still can't name most of the characters on the bridge.
And we already know the new one, Charlie Burke, and she
Mm-hmm.
was well written, uncomplicated, and not nice. But yeah, you're right. You could name all the bridge crew on the Orville. Even people who've watched STD for 4 seasons can't name, and I can't name anybody. I've actually watched Strangled Nude Worms, unfortunately. I can name Pike Boy because they're not the real characters. So Pike Boy, Spork,
Fake Pike.
yeah, Fake Boy, Spock Boy, and number one, who they gave a name to because they took it from a DC Fontana Star Trek novel from the 80s. Una. I'm trying to, but no. I mean, who else? There's no other personality. The only reason we know the other ones is because they're from the old. There's another thing. You don't look. Think about it. The only reason we know the other ones, Uhura, Chapel, and Mabenga, is because they're from the old TV show, the real Star Trek show. Those names are, these characters aren't. So everybody else, I'm like, she's that one there, and that she's the Noonien Singh thing chick or whatever, and that's the Endorian guy who's an Enar who's blind, and they had to cast a blind guy to play him, which begs the question: now that they've finally got it right in Hollywood and made sure they cast a blind guy to play a blind character, should Charlie Cox be ashamed of himself for playing Daredevil? Just saying. Should he? Because that was blindest to cast a guy with sight to play him, right?
Yeah, that's what they will claim. Absolutely, yes. If you're not the thing that you're portraying, then you shouldn't be portraying it anymore. Yes, I thought that being an actor meant you actually had to step outside yourself and pretend to be something you're not. But clearly, I don't know Hollywood.
Of course. You know what, Purple? I got to be honest with you. When I saw that guy, and he's a good actor, whatever, but I didn't know there were any blind actors. I know it's just me being ignorant. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. If there are, great. I did not know there were any. Have you ever heard of any?
I couldn't name any off the top of my head, but
I can't either. It's not for being mean. It's just like, if there is one, I mean, that's fine. I'm sure there probably is, but I don't know how they found this guy. I mean, nothing personal, but I just didn't even think there. I mean, I'm glad that there are. Nothing against it, but now that we know there are, any role you have for a blind person, now some jackass is going to squawk if you try to, I don't know, cast a non-blind actor, and this is just pathetic. Again, nothing against that guy. The shows, there are way worse things about the show than him. Just saying. So it's just terrible.
So, in summation, yes to the Orville, no to any fake Trek.
No to fake Trek and Obi-Wan. Oh, by the way, I'm also making an edict that shall pass on to the universe, and you will all obey me or perish, or perish, like perishable goods, nothing like bad or anything. Disney, quote unquote, Star Wars is not Star Wars anymore. I mean, I refuse to call it Star Wars anymore. It's Sand Wars from now on.
I watched the first couple of episodes. I haven't watched the third episode, but I
Lucky
didn't
you.
have strong feelings either way. I didn't obviously like it. I didn't hate it. I was indifferent, and I think that's the worst possible thing to be when you're a
Yeah.
fan of something. You know, if you get to this stage where you just do not care anymore, they've lost you.
Well, I'm with you there, kind of on those first two episodes. I was a little indifferent, kind of. There was had some things I didn't like, but I was like, this is not good. And then the third episode pissed me off so bad. It's like, look, I don't know why, because I'm not like I was surprised or anything, but and I will sit there and watch the rest of the trash probably, but I just
I was
I don't know.
surprised there's only 6 episodes. I thought there was going to be at least
Right.
9. That's
Yeah.
a really short season for these shows, and they seem to be getting shorter as they go
Yes.
on.
Yes, it's like that terrible Moon Knight show was only 6 and it felt like 60.
Yes, there were bits of that I could appreciate. If anything, it made me want to read Moon Knight. So that's my takeaway from this. It made me want to actually look into the character and read some of the runs and really kind of find out more about him, because this is a character that I knew about but had never actually read any of the comics for.
Well, since he doesn't appear on the show, yeah, you got to find him somewhere.
Exactly. Yes.
But you got again. I equated it with the scene in Jurassic Park when what was it? Jeff Goldblum got says, excuse me. There are actually going to be dinosaurs on this thing, right? That was me knocking at Disney like the 4th episode. Excuse me, there's going to be like Moon Knight on this show, right? Point. Wow. So they are just horrible. Every Disney Plus show I've watched has been garbage, except Mandalorian's okay, but I don't really care much. You know, a true test of a show's rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if I watch it, I remember like when Doctor Who was actually good, and after 2005 for a few years before it turned to trash. When I would watch an episode, I was so excited I would watch it maybe again that same night, and before the next one had come on, I'd at least watch it 2 or 3 more times. But now,
yes, that's a really good point. And that's the same with a lot of films as well that we've had recently. That
right.
you watch something once and you don't go back to it. That's a really good way to gauge how much you enjoyed something. Rewatchability.
Exactly. Look, I never need to see Doctor Strange again. That last one, I never need to see the Batman again. And even everyone really liked that Spider-Man movie. I went and saw it the one time. I didn't buy it like I usually do. I mean, I thought it was okay. I'm not saying I couldn't rewatch that one, but I don't really care. I didn't go on my way to watch it. It's like, it was all right, but
I liked it, I've got to admit. I thought they handled the characters pretty well. I didn't dislike the Batman. I thought it was a different take, at least. There were problems, and it was way too long. It was at least 40 minutes too long for what we needed, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I might, but I haven't seen Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Oh, you hadn't seen it? Oh, well, there you go. Well, I mean, you're not going to get me recommending it. I mean, to you. I mean, in other words, by the way, and that's coming from someone who didn't really hate it like everybody else. I didn't hate it. I liked some of the Raimi bits in it. I thought it was okay. And then I walked out of the theater and kind of forgot about it. You know, if I didn't have my popcorn box thingy, I might have forgot I saw it.
There he is. It's Puppy.
Mexican Iron Man. What's up? Oh, you're too generous. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Mike. He says, so sad I've lost enthusiasm for Star Wars. Yet, in my moment of despair, is there a purple maiden that can console me in my hour of need? Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Always Mexican
Give it a
Iron
shot,
Man.
Purple. See if you can help.
Absolutely. Mexican Iron Man is one of the hardest working people on YouTube. So to see him sad makes me sad. So I will endeavor to do anything I can to lift his spirits.
Absolutely. Now, come on. What he really wants to hear, though, Purple, say, Mexican Iron Man is really hot.
Okay. Mexican Iron Man, a.k.a. Papi, is really hot.
Whoa! You're welcome. You're welcome, Mike. But also, did you know that the Flash is his favorite superhero?
I did not know that.
He loves the Flash. We talk all the time. I mean, he wants to do a show where we talk about nothing but the Flash and his history. It's his favorite. And he's just, he won't shut up about the Flash. He's just like all over him. So I said, okay, sure, dude. One day we'll. And of course, yeah. All right, Mike, I'm not going to look. He's triggered. He hates the Flash.
Oh, so you were pulling my leg. See, I was
Yes.
going to say that I would love to see that show. I'd love to see you guys geek out about the Flash.
He's insane about the Flash. I mean, it's fine not to like him. I ruined the moment. Triggered. Flash sucks. Way to ruin the moment. Sorry, I'm sorry, Mike. But yes, Mike, we need to talk Green Lantern one of these days, brother. And yes, he's not a fan. Again, we all have characters we don't like. It's just that's a puzzling one for me. For example, people like to beat up on Aquaman all the time. I'm an Aquaman fan, but he gets made fun. Seth MacFarlane likes to make fun of him. Everybody makes fun of Aquaman. I love him.
Yes, everybody thinks he's kind of lame, but I don't know. I like Aquaman. I've got nothing against him.
It's a well-respected, great superhero. I mean, look, you could run through things, run around the world as invisible. I mean, you could do everything faster than everybody else. How cool is that superpower?
I mean, I admit I don't like the current actor that's portraying him.
I'm talking about the character.
But the character, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I just don't know. Mexican Iron Man. But he is Mexican Iron Man, so he is, of course, the greatest superhero on YouTube.
Exactly. The only superhero we need. The one that we do not deserve, but we have anyway.
We need. Exactly. We don't deserve him. We're going to talk Green Lantern, Green Arrow one of these nights, dude. You know how I'm always trying to get everybody together to do different comic book review shows.
Yes.
And one of the ones Mike and I have discussed maybe reviewing is the old Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams comic, team series Green Lantern, Green Arrow, the Hard Traveling Heroes classic.
Oh, I'd love to hear you guys talk about that. That would be so good.
And
I really love the in-depth comic talks that you do. So
thanks.
Can't wait to hear more of those. And I know we've got one lined up as well in the future.
Yes, we do. I found that comic online. I'm gonna read it. I was gonna read it soon. I found the play. I don't know. I'm sure you have like a copy of it.
Mm-hmm, I do.
But I found the copy because I don't have it actually. So what's interesting about that one is I've been mostly all the reviews so far. Been stuff that I know of, that I know that I love, and it's even though I haven't read it for a while, you know what I mean? Then I go back and reread it. So this will be interesting. It'll be one I have not read yet. So, and it's called Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange Triumphant.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
that was a graphic novel.
Great graphic novel, standalone story, but one that I really enjoyed. Yes, Triumph and Torment, so good.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, Triumph and Torment. Okay. Roger Stern and Mike Mignola.
Mike Mignola on the art. Yes.
Do you like Mignola? I've never been much of a fan of his superhero stuff. Do you like?
I like his style because he was different. I always loved his work with Hellboy, obviously. But
yes, perfect for Hellboy.
I did like his take on this one.
Gotcha.
A lot of people don't like him because he's quite stylized, but I always kind of like that one because I've always been a fan of Tim Sale as well, and he's got that kind of exaggerated proportions and features in his
yes, it's a little different. It's a little jarring. I remember, I don't know if this is the first thing I saw by him or not, but I think maybe it was Cosmic Odyssey, which was a DC limited prestige format miniseries. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And him, the way he I found it was very strange the way he drew the DC characters. The Justice League and stuff was kind of weird, but so there you go. But yes, that will be interesting now to read that one because I have not yet. And I think the next review, maybe next week, I'll be reviewing the second Superman and Spider-Man team up with Ace. We got so many things.
Nice. Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yes, we reviewed the first one last week. And wow. I mean, the art was fantastic. It was from 1976. We were a little brutal to it because you got to be honest. You can't let rose-colored glasses from nostalgia completely prejudice you. So we were pretty rough on it.
You've been rough on something, Clobby? Never.
Nah, well, I was not. Look, I surprised myself this time though. I surprised myself on this time because I was like, because I still think it's one of the most wonderful, greatest comics ever made, in spite of the writing, because of the art and the event that it was. So. Yeah. There was Athena says there was a what if issue That was about if Doctor Doom turned into a hero. I like that one. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hmm.
That was getting at, and it was something I have wondered about. I've not read that one though in a long time. If it's thinking one of the same thing you are, Athena, I'm almost seeing the cover in my head,
Yes,
but I don't
I
remember
always
reading
liked
that one.
the What If stories. I thought some of them were really good. I've got to admit.
There were some good ones. Yes, yes, I love the first issue. I remember buying I can remember exactly where it was. The one about number one in like 19 was it 75 or 6 or 7, whatever it was. Maybe 75, maybe somewhere up in there. I bought the first one at it's okay, so I can remember the store, maybe not the year. The Eckert's Drug Store. And you talk about make your head explode when you're a kid who loves the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and you say, what if Spider-Man had joined the Fantastic Four and they're all wearing fives on there? I'm like, oh my God. No way. I had to have it, of course. It was double priced or something, but I had to have it. So yeah.
Yes, a lot of them, if I remember correctly, were the kind of oversized issues as well, because they were a lot of them obviously were standalone, so they had to pack more into the story.
Indeed, absolutely. He said it showed Victor Von Doom having a parade going down the street. Yep, loving it. That was the cover.
Hmm.
Yep, that was well. Yep. Thank you, Fanty. So there you go. Yes. Well, what ifs? Yeah, there were some great what ifs. Let's see here. One of those powerful ones. I think we talked about this before. So, what if the Invisible Girl had died?
Hmm.
Sorry, she was called Invisible Girl back then. They were sexist, and what could have done?
I never thought it was offensive. I've got to admit, so yeah, I just thought it was a good name. It made sense. I thought Mr. Fantastic
Yeah,
was a little bit pretentious, but
yeah. I mean,
I've never
wow.
been a huge Reed Richards fan.
He's one of my all-time favorite characters. I love him. But the thing is, in fairness, what would you? I mean, that is it definitely is an egotistical name. But what do you, Mr. Stretchy Guy? I mean, all the good stretchy names have been taken. I mean, elongated man and plastic man, and what's he gonna? I am Professor Stretch. Let's see here. Oh, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for the $5 Canadian super chat, Chris Persia. You're too kind, my friend. He says, I popped in to see if Purple could get Clobby to admit his secret collection of Michael Burnham 1/6 scale figures and CLOBBERIN. So now it's you and Eric, huh?
What's this about your secret love of Michael
See?
Burnham?
And then Purple just jumps right in with the rest of you. Know everybody's always mean to Clobby. It's National Beat Up on Clobby Day. I mean, now you both corrupted Purple and got her onto your side. Now she's gonna be mean to me. Oh no! But yes, I do have a secret collection like that as it happens, and they're a bit smoldery though.
Melted into a
charcoal
lump. Yes.
Yes, but I still have it though. No, I don't. But they would be charcoal.
Oh, somebody had to buy all those Michael Burnham Mego figures. Yes.
Yeah, I did. Actually, I don't think anyone is. I keep seeing it at the.
So do I. Yeah. Every time I go into a comic book store or a toy store that has them, they're always still on the peg.
You know, I speculate that the only people who do buy that are using it to customize for something else.
You
know, you could make some other character.
I didn't hate the look of the Saru one, but I still didn't buy it, even though I love Doug Jones.
Oh, they did Saru?
Out of principle, but yeah, the head sculpt wasn't terrible, but yeah, I would never own one.
Oh, I got you. I didn't even realize it did him. I've seen Michael Burnham. So some people might be buying the Saru one, but Michael Burnham, I don't know how long that's been out, but nobody's buying that stuff. Nobody buys any of that. What little merch they do put out. And incidentally, by the way, on the Orville, what do you think of this? Did you think that the character Charlie Burke, Charlie Burke is kind of a swipe at a character with a male named Michael Burnham, maybe Michael Burnham?
I would probably be lying if I said it couldn't be a possibility. I mean, we know how Seth MacFarlane views the current state of Star Trek, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he didn't kind of put that in as a slight dig at what's going on.
Well, Eric K says for $5, Clobby only fake complains of watching STD. She is stunning and brave. I heard him say too many times. Yes, she's the bestest ever. And along those lines, Perp, the great Chris Persia did send me. He sent me a poster, and you tell
Oh
me
yes.
if this is Seth MacFarlane trolling bad reboot. Let's see. Hang on, let me get to it here. Because we showed this last week, but I don't know if you've seen this. So
I don't think I have actually.
well, here's a poster. Okay, let me pull it up, and no, all right.
But how good was it to see it trending on Twitter? You never see that
Oh my God,
with Star Trek.
no, you never do. All right, here we go. Let me find it. See what this. If this isn't him trolling, I'm not even gonna say if. I'm not even gonna entertain that it isn't. It totally is him trolling the strangled new worms crap. Here we go. It's popping up in a second, and thank you, Chris Berger, by the way, for this. Have you seen this?
I have not. Oh, this is good. Okay, this is awesome.
Again, thanks again, Chris.
Thank you,
is
Chris.
blatant. That is not even. It's not even up for this. I think it needs to be up for discussion. Look at that.
And I loved the design of the ship, and that was one thing that impressed me as well with the first episode. How good the space battles looked and the CGI.
Oh, good Lord! If you'll forgive the term, what they called it, the ship porn. I mean, it was extraordinary.
It really was.
And it was that they showed a lot of course, a really cool space battle. Then you got the scene later with the pterodon, Gordon testing the thing. And what was interesting about that is, yes, this episode was totally about. It was a character-driven episode. Nevertheless, there was still. Star Wars is always about spectacle. It's one of the most important things. There's more spectacle in the few minutes of spectacle of this latest episode, this first episode of the Orville, than has been on any episode of Kenobi, of all 3 episodes of Kenobi combined. And it's not even, and of course, it's good spectacle too. All they do is hang around on sand planets and Disney Star Wars now. Sand Wars, sorry. So. Yes, it's not Star Wars, Sand Wars.
Clubby's starting to hate sand as much as Anakin does.
I'm getting to like sand just because Anakin doesn't. I actually like sand. I would have the Sandman's power, so I could put sand into. I'm not. I was about to talk about something, but that would have got me in trouble. What I was about to say was it would have been YouTube would have called violence against.
Clubby gets his own channel taken down.
Just because I was talking about committing violence against certain. See, I said it. I said it in some foreign I said it in Wookiee.
Yes.
No.
If there was a speech bubble there, it would have been all those little symbols and asterisks and things. Yeah.
Exactly. I said it in Gorn, Captain. That should be merciful, Captain. Gorn are not in Star Trek until Arena. Strangle new ones sucks easy. I wish Jill was here. That was for her. She's not here. She loves my stupid Gorn impression for some reason. Oh my! Because yes, I forgot to tell you, they also had the Gorn on an episode, or in an episode where, of course, we all know that they don't meet the Gorn until Kirk.
They really don't care about continuity, do they?
No, and you know what? If they came out with a big old neon sign saying this is not in the same universe, I would have a modicum of respect for that. I go, good, thank you for admitting it. Now go away. But there's this goddamn chart out there. Hey, Zachariah, I seen it. Made by a bunch of idiot fans that Bad Reboot likes it or whatever, that, puts all the timelines together. And way off in the corner, far off, they do have the stupid Kelvin timeline, but they try to make you believe that the that the STD and PR and all that timeline isn't the same as real Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Doesn't even deserve to look in the direction of real Trek.
No, it doesn't. And again, if they were saying, look, this is its own little universe, I'd say, well, good. Enjoy your stupid garbage universe. Leave real Trek universe alone. It still precludes us from getting any real Trek that's not called the Orville. So
Yes, you mentioned earlier the Orville comics, and these were by Dark Horse, weren't they? If I remember correctly.
Yes,
Are they good?
yes.
Are they worth picking up? Because I've heard really good things about them.
I read the first few. I haven't gotten them all yet. I plan to get the other ones because my stupid comic shop right here. I shouldn't say that. Comic shop right here wouldn't order them. I call him stupid to his face, but not on the show. Anyway, didn't have the rest. So it was the ones I read were really good with good art that makes it look like the show, and the stories feel like episodes of the show.
Yes, I've just pulled it up to see what it's like, and the artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, I think
They've
this is a
really
big
captured,
hardcover now.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've really captured the likeness of the actors.
Yeah, I think there is probably a hardcover of it now, which I would like to get that. Yeah. So, and then I'm going to read them and maybe review them someday. So, but yeah, I love it, and it's nice that they did that because it was at least a little bit something in between. And now we got 9 weeks of so, again, no matter how it turns out, and by the way, I have complete faith that it will turn out well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time, Purple, in a long time that I've had something. Because remember, part of being a geek. Listen, I think anyway. And you might agree with that. I don't know. I think part of one of the fun things about being a geek is we talk about the things we've loved before, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but we look at the news and different things that come out about things that are out there, and we go, "Oh, I can't wait to see that." Remember when you could just do that, and maybe it would
Yes,
turn out pretty good, maybe it wouldn't. But you
having
go,
something to look forward to.
yes.
Yes.
You go. I'm like I said. Hey, anything coming out you're interested in? Oh yeah, I just saw this. This is coming out. Okay, it's this film, that book, this comic, whatever TV show. And there was usually a few things, even from me, Mr. Hate Everything, as I get called so much. Always a little bit. Now, no. I mean, there's all. Let's see. I actually bought one damn new comic book this year, and I don't think there's one other I might look for. I bought the new Astro City, and I waited 4 years for that.
I was going to say yes. I remember how happy you were that there was a new one. I was going to say, is this as in something that is current or? But yeah, Astro City.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm the last of the last. No, they has a fan following, but not as huge as it used to be. But I'm the last of the Astro City fanatics. I was so happy. I made sure I went and was able to go pick it up. And I don't even have a folder or anything anywhere anymore. But I made sure I was able to get it on the same day that they also had it came out with the new trade that collects all the originals together and that has it's a collection that's different from some of the earlier trades or hardcovers. So it's nice. I picked that up as well, and
Nice.
I've got them on the same day, and I'm holding this comic. It's still like regular size and everything, and I'm going, wow, I'm gonna read this, and whether it's good or not, I won't get another one for 5 years probably because it sounds like it. I'm like, Jesus, but I didn't let that stop. I read it anyway, and it was okay. It's just it was certainly not nowhere near his top work, but it was interesting. It was well done. There's a lot of his good stuff that he does regularly with Astro City, but then he talked in the back about some other project he's working on, and he said we'll be back. We'll have another one, but it could be a while. Yeah, no, last time he said it could be a while. It was
4 years
flipping
is
years.
that's a hell of a wait for something you love.
Yeah, but to be fair now, for a while there, we were getting it fairly regularly from like 2013 to 2018. It was on almost a regular schedule. Before that, you get an issue, and then like 2 years could go by before you get another one. Not 2 years. Well, sometimes 2 years. It just depends. Throughout an ongoing series, it could be months and months and months between issues, and then between series it could go a couple years. So, in 26 years, there hasn't been as many. There's been just a little over of 100-something comics in the run. So, but still, and away it goes.
Yes, and I remember you recommending this to me, and it's still on my. I've bought them, but I haven't read them, so I've got
really?
some of the trades. But I'm really looking forward to it because you said it was such a well realized world and such good stories.
Well, I love it because I'm a superhero junkie, but I also do like it when sometimes when they take superheroes down a mature path, but 99% of the time when they do it, it's deconstruction. And even though I love Watchmen and some of the stuff Moore did, and that's some of the greatest stuff ever, Watchmen, some of the Moore's great superhero work, this one is unique. And I mean unique. It is unique because it does the same level of intelligence of the Moore stuff without employing any deconstruction whatsoever, just using tropes and idioms that are established from all over the superhero spectrum. I know I go on about Astro City too much, everyone. I'm sorry, but it's a bit unique. In other words, it doesn't use any shock stuff, which, let's face it, a lot of deconstructionist comic books do.
Yes, and you did a really good video talking all about Astro City, I remember.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did. I think I did write one back on the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
Also, Kurt Busiek, who's the creator of it and wrote it and everything, I put it out on Twitter that I did that, and he actually saw it and was nice about it and sent, retweeted it and sent something out. I don't know if he saw the video, but he, thumbed up it and everything and was nice about it. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's always good to know that the people that you admire, just getting that little bit of recognition is really nice.
Yeah, it is fun. And like I say, but back to what we were talking about, to have something to look forward to. Now I've got 9 weeks of the Orville to look forward to. That's pretty special because after that, I mean, I'm looking forward to Cobra Kai.
Same. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Really enjoy Cobra Kai. I'm expecting the 5th season to be just as good as the previous ones.
I hope so.
Do you like the wait? Do you like having it released, once a week, or do you like the binge model? Because people kind of argue back and forth about shows.
I really do understand the logic when people say it's best to make it week in, week out. And there is something kind of cool about the anticipation of looking forward to it. So I think I almost prefer the wait each week, even though it's the one thing you're like, God, I want to watch the next one now. There's something kind of nice about that, though, because you go, wow, I get to look forward to it next week. It can't come fast enough. And yet, when it's all over, I can watch it a million times. Nevertheless, I know I'm too weak. Because when it is binged, I'll sit there. I remember when Daredevil season 1 first dropped, 2015, whatever it was. I got home that Friday night from work, and I was still watching till like early. By midday Saturday, I was almost done. By Saturday night, I was done.
Yes. See, another show that a lot of people have really enjoyed, and we did get all the episodes for, was season 4 of Stranger Things, and people are raving about that. I haven't caught up yet because I am watching the previous seasons, but everybody who's watched that said that was an amazing show as well. So I'm really glad to have some good TV back again.
Absolutely. And I agree with Mark. D says, look, I would not have been able to resist it. He said, I'd be done. I'd be right now. Exactly. Right now, I would be done with the Orville if they dropped them all. But I like, hey there, Comic Relief Crusader. Good to see you, buddy. I would be done. I kind of like it this way, the week to week thing. I like binging as well. So it's two-way, but yeah. What about you?
It's also good for fans as well. We get to do shows like this where we can really kind of talk about the episodes and what we liked and what we didn't like. And it's a great way to kind of dissect it. Whereas if you've got the binge model and you've watched all of the episodes, they have a tendency to kind of blur together, and you have a lot more trouble picking out the real highlights of each episode.
Absolutely true. And that's an important thing, the important distinction to make too. I think it is better. There's something better about that. But like I say, however, if it's a show that's older, though, then there's the thing. If it's a show that's a few years old, and you get hooked on it, then binge the hell out of it. But yeah, I'm with you there. There's something special about waiting week to week. And it's not like, if you have like a whole bunch of shows to watch, it's tougher, but it's rare that anything comes out.
Yes. Amen to that. Yeah.
That I want to watch. I'm like I say, what is there for you? All right, we got these two we've talked about, though. I know we're not doing much on comics here tonight, folks, but it's I don't get a chance to hang with Purple that often. And still, Mark C would be right here with us talking. He loves comics and this stuff. Linrod, hello there. Good to see you again. What about you? What do you have coming out that you're looking forward to? Whether it could be anything, book, comic, movie, anything.
Honestly, there isn't that much on the horizon. I mean, I'm obviously really into the Orville now that we've had such a great first episode, and I will be sticking with that and watching it. I will catch up with Stranger Things because people have raved about it, and I did enjoy it. But film-wise, there just isn't that much on the horizon. I recently got to see Top Gun Maverick and was surprised how much I liked it. It was an amazing film, and this is someone who wasn't a huge fan of Top Gun, the original, but I obviously I've seen it and I remember it. But again, a great film. Loved The Northman when it came out. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of fun. But you're right; it is very few and far between where we have, something to look forward to now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything. I guess I look forward to losing my voice from screaming about Thor: Love and Plunder, but I don't look forward to that movie at all.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't think I'm even going to bother to watch it.
I don't blame you. I'm good. I've got to review it. Thanks to you, J Man. Damn you. No, he wants to review stuff, and it is fun. It's fun getting together to review it, like that Friday night after it. But
Hmm.
well, see, I have a very dear friend of mine. I don't know if he's listening off that lives not too far from me, and we've gone to see almost all the Marvel movies together. And so
Hmm.
we don't get to see each other that much. I go pick him up, and we make a day of it every time one of these movies comes out. Any superhero movie, even like even though it was the Batman, it's not a Marvel movie, but you know what I mean. So we do that. We go to the 3:30 feature in the daytime, whatever. So it's kind of a tradition of us. So it's sort of we'll do it. I'll do it. I'm going to go make sure because I want to make sure he gets to go. He wants to see it, and um, I don't want to so much, but I'll go and I'll review it. So I'll be there. But man, I'm not looking forward to it. I
Yes. This is one of those ones that I kept forgetting was actually coming because I cared so little about it. But having seen the trailers, they didn't do anything for me, I've got to admit. And I think Thor deserves better as a character. He's not a jokey
absolutely.
character.
D. Bud Martin. I wouldn't be too sure about that, buddy. He says it's got to be better than Eternals. I mean, yes, you would think so on paper, but I don't know, man. It could be more asinine than Eternals. Eternals was horrible, and a lot of that's to do with how boring it is and bland it is. And I mean,
Another
it's
one still haven't seen. Didn't see Shang-Chi
don't
either.
don't see
Yep.
that either. It's terrible. Oh, I've subjected myself to all this crap. What about Black Widow? You saw that one?
I did actually see Black Widow. Yeah, I think it's a film that we needed at least 8 years ago, rather than
Right.
release it when they did. It would have fit much better into continuity wise if we had it, because you watch the film and all you think is, well, this character's no longer with us, so why are they bothering to tell her story when
Right.
canonically she's dead?
Right. It's sort of like on Strangled New Worms, where Pike, by the way, knows he knows what happens to him in the future. I don't
Hmm.
know if you do that or not. So
I
every
did not
time
know
you
that.
look at him on the show, you go, well, he knows he's not going to die right now. It's one thing when you watch a prequel of some sort and you know the character's not going to die. I'm not even talking about that, but this is in an episode of STD, he went to some Klingon uh thing play temple or some shit, whatever it was, and it's
Hmm.
some kind of time jewel thingy. I don't know. It was some gobbledygook, but it showed him his futures. When he gets disfigured by the Delta rays,
Hmm.
so he knows he knows what's going to happen to him 10 years later, and to the point where in the first episode of this piece of shit show, he knows all the names of the kids he rescues from the Delta rays. Why do you know their names, by the way? I don't understand that either. So, because the show's garbage is why. To answer my own question.
Terrible
Is
writing, yes.
terrible. You have a character walking around knowing he can't die. I mean, you people this show was written by toddlers, and people are liking it. What is wrong with you people liking it? Strangled New Worms? Are you crazy? Sorry. God, I hate it. I'm sorry. Sorry, Purple. I mean to hurt your eardrums.
I
Which
like
is
the passion, but yeah, it's a bad time to be a Star Trek fan,
oh
unfortunately, and a Star Wars fan. But I do know
yes,
a lot of people have been. I think the best way to charitable, I guess, would be the best way to put it towards these shows.
yes they
Now,
are.
I'm not sure if it's because people do genuinely like bits of what they're seeing, or whether our tastes have changed, or whether we're just kind of more likely to settle for a a badly written show. I don't know.
Stockholm syndrome, and I mean it. I believe it because they'll take anything they can get. They're like a battered. I hate to use that analogy of something serious like a battered housewife or something like that, but I'm using it in the sense that at least he's not beating me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's only just calling me names and being nasty to me.
Fans have had a hard time of it in the last 10 years, and it's pretty much every IP has had it. You talked about Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who.
Yep,
we're getting it now with Lord of the Rings.
Yep, yeah. That's again. This now it's there was a trifecta. Now there's the bonus, number 4. So this and those are arguably Purple the 4 biggest fantasy / science fiction IPs in the history of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 have been lined up against the wall. And now again, Star Trek gets to live under an assumed name. I don't think you can really do that with Doctor Who or Star Wars or even Lord of the Rings.
I think Doctor Who's had it.
It's over. It's over.
It's done. Yeah.
What I'm saying is I don't think you could get somebody to come along and do what McFarlane did for Star Trek for those other ones. It's just not the kind of thing. I mean, not saying it's possible. I just don't see how you do it, and I don't think you can be doing it.
No, it would take a huge effort and somebody who not only knew the IP but had a love for it the way McFarlane does for Star Trek. But
yep. It's just not going to happen.
It's not.
It's sad.
They can't take away what we already have.
No.
So go back and watch real Trek. Go watch real Star Wars. The one thing that the new Disney shows have done and films, I only watched 2 of the films. I didn't watch the other 2. It gave me a newfound appreciation for the prequels.
Me too. Me too. Look, I was never one that hated him like a lot of people. To be honest with you, I was critical of him in some ways that things I didn't like, but I never was. I was always actually sort of something of well disposed toward them. I mean, in other words, I mean, they had their things, and they're not in a class with the originals, but I mean, but yes, it does tend to do that for people who hated them, and for those of us who were just sort of, they're okay. And then like, wow, they're Shakespeare.
I miss the hype surrounding it, and you think back to when we had the prequels and just how excited people were to have Star Wars back on the big screen.
I was excited.
The queues round the block to get in to see these films.
Right. I was look, every one of them I was excited, and I didn't really, again, I didn't hate them like a lot of people, but I did have some issues here and there with them. But people, I mean, you'd meet people and you'd think it was the worst thing ever. I'm like, oh, it wasn't really that bad, dude. I mean, I can understand your criticism. I understand a lot of the very valid criticisms, but I enjoyed them. I thought they were okay. And now they are masterpieces. Thanks to Jar Jar A-Holbrams and Ruins Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy.
I know a lot of people liked Rogue One, and I was kind of indifferent to Rogue One. It seemed... It didn't really fit in with the other ones, so I guess that's
the last 30 minutes of it were kind of fun, but it's not really much of a movie. I'm not, again, it's not something I want to go watch over and over. I mean,
same. I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, I think I watched it. I think I actually did buy that because it was before the Last Jedi came out or whatever. I think I may actually bought the Blu-ray or whatever and watched it one time. I think maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I just didn't really care. But the last Jedi guy was that's the last time I was dumb enough to spend money and walk into a movie theater with something with the title of Star Wars on it. And never again. Never will again want to spend the time on them.
And Kal-El, I absolutely agree. Yes, as long as physical media exists, yes. And we always recommend, and Clubby's recommended it as well. If there is something out there that you love, get it on physical media.
Oh God, yeah.
So they can't change it because they do.
They fiddle with it. They fiddle with it, and they're gonna screw with it. And anything if you love it, I mean, it's good to get it even anyway. But if it's something you really really love, you got to get that physical copy. Hey there, nerd poor life form.
Hey, good to see
Good to
you.
see you. Good to see you
We've
there.
got an amazing chat in today. It's so good to see
Absolutely.
everyone.
Absolutely. But yeah, I wish there was more to look forward to, but I've got 9 weeks at least of the Orville to look forward to.
Hmm.
And hey, Mark D with the C, don't we have a comic to look forward to? That Clobbering Time comics. Marvel's got a comic about the Thing, another because they had a really terrible Thing miniseries just came out that Mark and I both read. Awful, and we read it because me and the Thing. I actually did read it. I didn't buy it. Think about no, I didn't buy it, but I read it on well, someone sent me. Someone sent me a copy.
Probably read it off the rack and then put
I
it
was
back.
given a copy. Let's put it like that. I actually didn't get to read the last issue. I heard it was terrible, but we were reading that kind of. Mark and I were following that one together and talking about it because we're both big Thing fans, and it was, it was so Jesus Christ. Anyway, so they've announced another one coming up. I don't know. I think it's soon. It's called. I think it's actually called Clobbering Time, and it looks like old school comic art. It looks like old school The Thing versus the Hulk and stuff. I believe there's another Thing series coming out. Oh, and you know what else is coming out? Have you seen the work, the stuff about that Alex Ross Fantastic Four book coming out?
I haven't. No.
Oh my God, it's coming out in August. Let me see. I mean, if you got a second, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
It's
this is love Alex Ross's work.
This is one of let's see, Alex Ross. There, I think I found it.
Are there any films in Phase 4 that you're looking forward to, or are they all kind of? You got to the point where you don't care.
Not a one. Not nary a one that I can think of. Okay, this is it's interesting. He's contracted with some other company and Marvel to make this. It's a comics. I mean, it is. This is different here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. What's that thing called, Mark? I can't remember what it's called now. It's a new Fantastic Four project. Oh, here we go. Nope. Where are you? Fantastic Four full circle. And it is okay. Let's see here. It's coming out soon. It's a big. It's gonna be a big hardcover, but it's a comic. And well, it's it's a comic in as much as it's a comic book by Alex Ross, which means it's painted story, and just I think he's got another writer working with him on it. I hope he does. Well, yeah, he can be though. He's an okay writer.
Oh,
but
look at that!
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen this.
This is coming out in August, I think. There's I believe the cover of it.
Yes, I really love his art. I think he's incredibly talented, but
Yeah.
A lot of people say that his images look too static, like there's no movement in them, almost like they're statues.
It's true. It's not cartooning in the sense of comic books. I mean, there's a term for it, basically sequential art, and in a sense, yes, it's a comic book, but it's a bunch of paintings where he uses models and stuff like that. But they're still they're as let's see. Scott McCloud wrote the guy wrote a book called Zot. He also wrote a book. He won all these Eisner Awards for writing a series of comics. First book called Understanding Comics. In the book, I don't know if you've ever seen Understanding Comics. It was very popular in the 90s. And basically in that, it's just Scott McCloud explaining cartooning and comics. And he just kept trying to say how comic books is not an accurate or not really. It's kind of a misnomer. And he says basically it's, let's see here. How do you say it? He finally came up with the term, and he to explain what it is: juxtapose pictorial images in deliberate sequence. Which is sequential art. Will Eisner called it comics and sequential art. So that's what it is. But he was being pretentious in a joking. But yes, they are images that are static. They're not Yeah, they're like a bunch of images together, and they use word balloons. But Marvel's is still great, and the Kingdom Come is still great. I don't want every comic to be that way. I do like the traditional art styles used, of course. But good Lord, this thing looks good.
It does. I'm gonna have to look into this because I didn't know it was. Yeah.
I'll definitely let you know when it comes out. But man, I hope it doesn't take forever. They're talking about August. And yes, Linrod, yes, Kingdom Come is good. My buddy J-Man and I reviewed it a couple of months ago here on this VALKYRIE channel. Have you read Kingdom Come, by the way, or no?
I haven't. No, it's on my list again because I remember you recommending it and talking so highly about it. But no, I haven't read it.
We'll see. It says basically in Fantastic Four Full Circle, it's a rainy night in Manhattan, and not a creature is stirring except for Ben Grimm. Let's see. What's the story about? I have no choice. Oh. Creatures composed of negative energy come and using them, they bring them to I think they take them somewhere in the Fantastic Four, no choice but to journey into the negative zone to try to find them. So expect a lot of really weird, cool art.
I like cool weird art.
This here. Like that. Wow.
See, that you don't see anymore. I love
Canadian
that.
Spidey. What's up, Canadian Spidey? Yeah, that's going to be... You know what it looks like? It looks like those old black light posters of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen any of those for the Marvel?
I have, yes.
I love
Can you imagine? That would be such a good print to have up on the wall.
Oh, God,
that in really vibrant colors.
Let's see this. See if he's got any more of it from here. Oh, look, this one. He's ripping off an old Kirby collage. I mean, this looks beautiful. That looks beautiful.
Oh, this is so good.
This is gonna be fun. I mean, I hope the story's good. I think it could be because it looks like he's interested in telling a Fantastic Four type story. Probably won't be telling us what a bunch of monsters we all are for not agreeing with this dumb politics. So hopefully,
that would be nice. Yeah, that makes a change.
I mean, by the way, there's the thing I've always said about that. When people do that, you guys could call me on the phone and call me all those names. Fine. Just when you make the entertainment, could you keep it out of that? I mean, then you guys, I'll give you my phone number. You producers of movies and TV, and call me on the phone, and then you can call me the Istaphobe and all that stuff, and then that'd be great, right? Yeah. Can we separate it? Then
hit me up on Twitter. That's fine. Yeah, just keep it out of entertainment, please.
Right, keep it out of the comics and in the movies, and we're good. You call me whatever you want. But look at this. Good Lord. I hope this comes out soon. It's like a $25, $30 hardcover, so it's worth it. Wow. And again, by the way, this is not Marvel Comics because they couldn't do. They had to. He farmed it out from another company. Another dude. Again, that's going to be happening to a lot of Marvel. I mean, Joe Quesada just quit Marvel. Marvel's in. A few other people did too. They're in tatters. DC. Nobody's buying any of their crap, and they're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff, farming books out to companies and licensing them out and all that kind of stuff. That's what this is.
Yes. Did you ever think as a comic book fan that the big two would ever get into such a state?
I never did. I hoped. And I'll tell you what I mean by that because I know it sounds mean, sounds evil and all that stuff. Marvel Comics, DC Comics are built on the blood of creators that they've sucked out. In other words, they're not the people who necessarily work for them now, but these companies made billions and billions of dollars on exploiting and stealing from creators and treating. Now, I don't mean stealing in the traditional sense, but definitely treating horribly the people who created for them and did all that work for them over the years.
Yes,
as I'm sure you know.
Yes, you've talked in the past about how a lot of the old school artists in particular were treated terribly, and a lot of them, ended up in poverty.
God, yeah. Absolutely, a lot of them did, and there's not going to be any justice for any of those. A lot of those people, ever, and in some cases, their heirs at least benefit from it. Eventually, the Kirby heirs got a little bit, and I in my opinion, Disney was both shamed and scared and frightened into doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know if you know, but there was a threat. Look, I'm not a big fan of some of the stuff she said or done, but back in 2010 or 11 or something like that, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court, had threatened to maybe start looking at some of those old rights issues and laws from before, and maybe, you know, and that, I think that kind of lit a fire under some asses, and, you know, in Hollywood and stuff. And eventually, I'm talking about the Kirby's case,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of that had a lot to do, I think, with the Kirby's getting some recompense. You know, almost 20 years after Jack was gone, but you know, and you know,
Yeah, so as you say, it is good that they're starting to get it, but it's almost a case of too little, too late, perhaps.
yeah, well, yeah. Again, there are, yeah, the people, the artists are all dead and gone, most of them. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
some of them, like I said, in some cases, the families will get something, and that, you know, okay, that's good because it's not their fault.
Yes, if I remember correctly, there are charities where a lot of artists kind of sell their original work, just to kind of generate some revenue.
Yes, the Hero Initiative
Mm-hmm.
by actually Jack Kirby's granddaughter. It's a big charity she put together or helped put together. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one that helps a lot of old time comic book artists who can't work anymore, who have medical problems, medical bills, different things like that. That's the one. Because you got to wonder. I've wondered a lot since, you know, about new comics. How many guys that are those names I remember of people who worked in the business who don't work it anymore because they can't get hired, even though a lot of them had a lot of talent that are still around. And yeah, so the Hero Initiative has been very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So damn shame, isn't it? But we got, oh, what's that? Hey Mark, what's the name of that comic? That Thing comic coming out? That's something. It might be good.
I
What am I
can hear the
talking about?
hope in your voice. I hope
Yeah,
well, given that we know how much you love the thing, but yeah, I
oh, the
really
last one.
really hope that it's good for you.
You should have heard what when Mark and I, like, you know, when we were talking on the to each other while talking about that comic a couple times while we were reading it, and like,
Hmm.
man, I don't know if we should do this on the show because I'm gonna lose it. This is dog shite. The writing, and it takes place during the era I would want it to. I mean, uh, is it called It's Clobbering Time? Which, oh, I think this might be it. What's it called? Mark will let me know. It's a new comic. Yeah, you can't, because you can't Google something like that. Oh, there it is.
Oh, you found
No,
it.
no, I thought I found it.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. Mark,
I was
Mark
like
will tell
three
me.
squared off against
Bill
the wall.
Oh yeah, you saw that? Yeah, that's not.
Mhm.
That looks like deviant art. That's like some.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
It says I got it off. That's on by somebody I like. It's very old school. Did Mark tell us? Because probably impossible to Google because you'll find like 50 million of the thing. And Mark, do you know the name of that title, dude? Because it's getting closer to it. It said it was this summer. If you could let me know, dude, I'd appreciate it. It's just
I said
called
it.
The
The
Thing. Oh,
thing.
that's going to be impossible to find. The Thing,
But the
Volume
thing
10.
2022 maybe.
That's a good idea.
Let's see if it
Okay.
narrows it down.
Uh, that's here's that one we
Nope.
were reading. This is that one, that Garbaggio one we've been reading. Oh,
I can see now
this
why you don't
bites.
pick up new comics.
Yeah, new comics are poop. Ooh, they're they are. Yeah, it's gonna be impossible to find. I actually like this one of the 50 million variant covers they did. They did some nice covers. That art was tough to get used to. That was nice, but I mean the interior art was. Ugh. But did a lot of Thing comics. It'd be impossible to find that one, I guess.
Did you pick this up a physical copy, or was it a digital?
A friend of mine gave me went and grabbed and gave me the physical copy of #1. I said, no, let me read it on digital first. But did it anyway. But I read it on digital, and because I didn't want to, unless it was good. Now this thing, it was touted. This was like it started in December or maybe January. It was touted because it was written by a guy named Walter Mosley. It was a well-known author. Who I don't know if you've heard about this story, but he was on he happens to be a black gentleman who was a big Fantastic Four fan. In fact, when we did our Fantastic Four show last year for the 60th anniversary, I was talking about this book, Ultimate Fantastic Four, the issue #1, like it had each panel blown up. That book, he loaned them his copy of #1 for the scan for that. This guy's an author who happens to be a big Fantastic Four fan. Well-known author. He worked on the set in the writer's room for Discovery for like a couple of weeks, and then they fired him.
Yes, I remember this story. Yes.
Again, he happens to be a black gentleman. He was telling a story, and the idiots fired him. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I mean, he loves the Fantastic Four. He loves the Thing. And God bless him. This story is like, dude, you may love him, but I'm sorry. You don't need to be writing them. You don't need to be writing it. I'm just saying. I don't mean anything by it, but good God, why?
Well, it's like technically we know that Clobby owns the Fantastic Four, or at least should do.
Since I own them, yes, that's another thing. What was it? It's just J. Michael Straczynski. I love Babylon 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
He cannot write. He's written a couple of good comics, but when he wrote any character that was an established, Mark's looking for it too. He can't find it. When any character that is when he would write Spider-Man. I mean, some people liked it. His Spider-Man was horrible. He's the one that did Brand New Day or whatever. Like, what was it or whatever? Brand New Day or whatever the hell that thing was called.
Mm-hmm.
When he would write established Marvel or DC characters, it was garbage. I think he was horrible. He did a great comic called The 12, which I loved, which was they were old timely characters that no one had ever heard of since the 40s. They were all not unused characters. Timely became Marvel. They were all like nothing burger characters, that really weird, eclectic jokes of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this story where they all got one more day. Thank you. They all got drawn into like some warehouse, and something froze time in the thing for some time bomb or whatever. And they were all unfrozen in 2008. And so you got all these cornball golden age characters, and it was a great story. Can't find any info. But you showed me a solicitation of it. Maybe they took it off the solicitation list, Mark. Damn them. It looked good too, so of course they need to cancel it. So this comic,
to be fair, they probably could have come up with a more creative title. It's not exactly the easiest thing to find if people are interested in it.
Yes, but it was just solicited a while back, so it was coming out soon. But yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to call it The Thing? But anyway, The 12 was a great comic. But I'm just saying it was very sort of Watchmen-esque, but not quite as dark, almost as dark. And it was really good. But then these are characters nobody cared about. His Superman sucked ass. I mean, oh my God, and Mr. Mosley's a fine fellow. And I know you love The Thing, dude. But what? These are first. And the art, Jesus, the art. My God, does anyone ever remember Backgrounds?
I remember Backgrounds. Yes.
Remember Backgrounds in comic books? Let's see here. Let's see. It's called The Thing. Oh, let's see. The Thing 2021. I was going to try to find an example of the art, but it's almost. The next big thing. Maybe it'll be the next. I mean, you can't find it because it's Google proof. You want to just call something The Thing. Remember what McCoy said in the motion picture? Why is any object we don't understand always called a thing? I mean, I don't know. So yeah, you're never gonna find it. But anyway,
Yes.
it just
Even I'm looking at the
crap.
moment and I can't find it either.
Oh look, there's the art. Some of this art, Jesus, mother of God. Oh, there's. Oh yeah. Well, I can't. It's probably. Oh, there we go. And that's one of the better pages.
Ooh, I can see what you mean. Yeah, that's lackluster when it comes to backgrounds.
Yeah, you could tell the guy's trying to be Dave Mazzucchelli and all that stuff, but who, it's just. And the cave's so out of character in this comic. Don't write him out of character. What a revolting development this is. You're right. You're right, buddy. Anyway. Well, I tell you what. That's just, I wanted to show that thing. But anyway, no big deal. Oh, my goodness. Well. That was, we talked, see, look, Purple. We talked
comics. We did, yes. We did.
Yeah, you don't read anything currently, right? No.
I don't know. I'm going back in, finding comics from the 80s and 90s, but pretty much the early 90s was my cut-off point for comics. Yeah. And that's really sad.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is, but what are you going to do? At least it's plenty out there to read, though.
This is true, yes.
I mean, depending on what what kind of things you like, it's all out there. I mean, that's the good news if you want to, but it's a hungry boy. You're hurting my eyes. I'm sorry, hungry boy. And as you know, he's going by, and he is actually hungry for more of a Gekiga running. But we know he is our good buddy, Hungry Boy, who is, again, he's incognito. I don't know his secret identity, but I do know he was a professional in the field back in the 70s and 80s and 90s and stuff. So
Hungry Boy is an incredible artist. I've seen some.
Oh yes, you've seen it too. Yeah,
yes,
and he is great. He is great.
I love that one that he did for you that you put up sometimes.
Oh, the CLOBBERIN?
The CLOBBERIN, yeah.
Oh, you mean this one?
That's the one. Yeah,
it's amazing. Have you seen our animated version with Raquel commentary?
I don't think I have, actually.
Well, this is, of course, the voice of our wonderful first officer, Raquel,
on
Saturday Night Star Trek. Yes, this is her, and along with the CLOBBERIN. Enjoy.
Crap.
That's a beautiful thing. I love that.
Oh, every now and then we gotta dust that sucker off for a really bad episode. I'm telling you, it's tough getting through TNG. We're almost done. I mean, when they make episodes like this,
that's a work of art as well. That's a beautiful thing.
I don't do that to every episode, just so you know. I mean,
I was wondering.
No, once in a while, an episode just comes along, but I couldn't even do it to Masks, and it was the worst. I think I must. I hope everyone didn't think I was I yelling too much when I was talking about. I don't know. I was thinking I went nuts when I wasn't yelling about this when I was like, oh my God, my brain hurts. I don't know what I watched. I've seen it before, but it was like every time you watch it, it's so bad it erases itself from your memory as a self-preservation. So when you watch it again, you're like, I know I don't remember this, and you don't remember it. Please, not again. I was a little nuts on that one, but I'm telling you, that episode, you're like, after you watch it, you go, what did I just watch? And then if you watch it again years later, and why? Well, I have to review it, but I know I've watched it before, but I'm like, I don't remember this. This is all new. Did I remember? And then I go, oh yeah, I think I did watch this one. Why did I remember it? Then I remembered why I didn't remember it.
I really like Next Generation, but it is a mixed bag. When it's good, it is incredible. When it's bad, yeah, wow.
Yes, see, absolutely. Look, it's extremely inconsistent. I've found on this rewatch because it's been a while since. This is the first time in forever I've gone back and watched them all in order like this. We're almost done with the whole thing, We're like somewhere a little bit past smack middle of the seventh season, but
Nice.
it is a roller coaster. I mean, it is. It is so damn. Like I said, inconsistent.
I've really enjoyed getting to listen to you guys talk about it, but I'm really
Thanks.
looking forward to when you get to DS9.
We're getting there. We are getting there. We are almost. I think we're. How many episodes away are we from Deep Space Nine? We're about maybe. I don't know, 8 maybe or 9. I can't. I mean, now it's starting to take forever because we're getting. We're slogging through this 7th season. But I think we will be there in about. Oh man! Oh good God! I thought we were closer than that.
Yes, I guess didn't someone work out how long it would take you to cover all of these
Yes.
episodes? And it's like, wow, that's crazy.
Mr. Smarty Pants Mark D said, "Dude, I don't think I wanted to know that." I'm not even gonna live that long. What the hell? So, oh good God Almighty! Now I want to cry. Purple. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 regular episodes than the last one. So, okay, so 3 weeks, and then we got to do the movies.
Yes, I forgot you were doing the movies as well.
And so we're about 5 weeks away from DS9.
I didn't hate Nemesis. That was one of the few that I
yeah.
Yeah.
Me either. I didn't hate it either, but I don't think I haven't watched it in about 20 years. I don't know about you. Look, I didn't really. What I hated the most about Gibberations was Kirk getting killed. It was so stupid.
Yes, yeah, that was a really dumb decision. And didn't they retcon that, if I remember correctly, as well?
Well, no, yes and no. They did a series of books by Shatner with the writing help by Garfield and Judith Reeves Stevens, a husband and wife team that write some pretty good Star Trek. And there were the Shatner books. First one was Ashes of Eden, but then the second one started out called The Return. And in those books, yes, Shatner, Kirk is beamed up by the Borg and revived with day-night thingies or whatever, and they tried to use him to assassinate Picard or whatever's going on, and eventually becomes his old self. And there's a bunch of books, maybe 6, 7, 8 books. I have the books, and even have the Shatner reading the audio book of those. And you have William Shatner doing his Picard. Stew on that for a second, won't you? Don't you?
I'm trying, but I can't.
Right. I don't know how. I can't remember. It's been so long since he's done his Picard, but I'm sure it's perfect. Number one, make it so. Number one. I don't know. He's yeah. Those audiobooks are always funny when a man would try to do like a woman's voice and stuff. Did I ever tell you about the time that I was almost killed by an audiobook?
You did not know. How did that happen?
Well, it was George Takei's fault.
Of course.
George Takei almost murdered me with an audiobook because we bought the audiobook. Claude and I were going. It was 1989ish. It was the novelization by J.M. Dillard of Star Trek V: The Final Frontier came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the book. Then I bought the audiobook. And it's George Takei reading it. And I don't know how familiar you are with the film, but we're just driving along, minding our own business, going to a con actually, listening to it. So, and going to Houston or something, whatever. Anyway, we're driving along, and it's just him doing his voice, all kind of stuff. And then he comes upon the scene where the Romulan woman, Caitlin Dar, walks into the Nimbus complex to introduce herself to the council. And she says, in the film, she says, her voice is, "I'm Caitlin Dar," whatever. Yes. Well, imagine, if you will, George Takei saying, "I'm Caitlin Dar," trying to make his voice. I almost went off the road. I mean, it was attempted murder because we said, "Oh my God!" Like, I'm laughing so hard, I almost lost control of the steering wheel. Like, Holy shit! Oh, Caitlin Dar. It's like I can't even do it right, but I have to. Oh my God! I pulled up the side of the road and started. I mean, I couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes. We're laughing so hard, like idiot. Holy shit! I gotta find it now and listen, see if it's as bad as I remember, because we were just holy gee. Just read the book.
That's a hell of a thing.
Holy, you're not gonna sound like her. You're George. You're George Takei. Oh my. Yeah. If you do hear it, Linrod, I want to know if it sounds as ridiculous to you as it does to me. That was 1989, and we were, in our late mid 20s, and it was the silliest thing I've ever heard, because it's like, again, it's George Takei reading the book. I'm Caitlin Dar. Like, holy shit, you didn't do that.
And it was that day that we nearly lost Clobby.
There have been no Clobby, because I almost went off the damn road. And Claude didn't help, because he was laughing. Whoever else was in the car didn't help either, because we're like, oh my God, just busting out laughing. Oh, thank you, George. Oh my. Oh, I'm Caitlin Dar. I can't even do it.
That would be a great soundbite, just to hit the button, on this show.
I don't have, but I think one of my friends still has that. I'm gonna have to try to find it. I wonder if some ass put that on YouTube, like the audio, because they put a lot of audio stuff on there. I wouldn't be surprised. Cardinal Sin, what's up, dude?
Hey,
thank you
Cardinal Sin.
Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. You are too kind. I really appreciate that. Very, very generous of you, buddy. And I'm glad to see you. And I hope you are doing well this evening.
Oh, nice! It's a flying pear.
Oh, cool! I like those.
Awesome.
Even I eat pears, but they don't fly. So
well, maybe they would if you didn't eat them, Clobby.
That's true. That's true. Well, wait a minute. Come on now. I call foul. I never seen one with wings before. Maybe yeah, I mean, what about? Maybe I was thinking of peaches. I don't know. Because I am thinking about going to the country and going to eat me some peaches.
Now I've got that song stuck in my head forever. Thank you, Clobby.
Peaches come in a can. Ooh, stop. I have a really filthy version of that song, and I almost did it. It's a habit. Well, to be honest with you, Purple, I have a filthy version of every song ever, and it's really not. I mean, I'll walk around singing it and forgetting where I am sometime. Like, oh, that's really someone hearing that's going to think, what the hell's wrong with this guy? And I have a really messed up version of that one.
Presidents of the United States?
Yeah, of America. What a name. The Presidents of the United States of America. Yeah. Remember what they did that song, Lump?
Yeah, but that Peaches song, it gets stuck in your head.
Going to the country, gonna eat me some peaches.
Yep.
Peaches come in a can that's been put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my way, I'd eat peaches every day, and no one else. Everyone's cursing us for now. They have to think about that song too.
Yep. If we can have it stuck in our heads, some of you guys.
Purple, the perfect idea for a stream. Making people listen, let's see, putting into people's heads really songs that make them have to sing it all day. Okay, it could use some work on the title, but yeah, listen to this one. You'll be singing that crap all day.
Earworms with Clobby, yes.
Earworm. See, that's why they pay Purple the big bucks, because she's that is better. Never heard it. Linrod's heard it, so you're okay. You're safe.
I am jealous, Linrod. It's not a terrible song, but yeah.
I like it, but it's wow. Uh-oh. God dang it. Probably sorry, Hungry. Oh dear. That is something. But that was fun stuff.
And still better writing than anything we've got from STD or Star Wars or Doctor Who.
Of course, because the jackasses who make Sand Wars, Obi-Wank, couldn't even. Would it be? You don't care if I spoiler it, do you? I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just saying. You know who comes back, right? Oh
yes, yeah. I saw the clip that people put up.
Okay. Thank you for that, Cardinal Sin, for your Clobby is earworms. I've been called worse, buddy. But thank you, I appreciate that. Oh shit! But the what was it? You can't even. One of the things that I bitched about, it was nothing to do with like show quality, but it was kind of. You bring back Darth freaking Vader, and you don't use any. I don't care. John Williams' name is on this thing. I refuse to believe he did the music for this thing. Not
Hmm.
even the hint of the Imperial March. Not. I mean, when you see Darth Vader walking, you could have the sound off, and it's gonna in your head. You're gonna hear. Even a hint of none, zero. That's that tells you it should tell you everything you know about these idiots, how they don't care. I'm sorry, even a little bit would have been something.
Yes, and people were talking about that earlier when we were talking about Rogue One, and absolutely, the best scene was when Darth Vader shows up at the end.
Yes, yes. Even in Phantom Menace,
Hmm.
Anakin's theme.
Yes.
Remember at the very tail end of that, you get a. But in this Sand Wars trash, what do you get? Wimp ass, cowardly Obi Wank. And
I saw the meme that people are putting up. What he is trying to get through the barrier,
yeah,
but he could just walk around the outside.
and yeah, Mark and I were talking about that last. You just go around it, ass. First of all, I could jump over it too, but yeah. But he has no force powers apparently, except when he needs them. I can't stand seeing him fight with a blaster. That makes me sick. I know he did it for 1 second in the Sith, and that was kind of funny when he did General Grievous, right?
Hmm.
But oh my god,
But he had contempt for using it. You know, he drops it immediately.
right? He made a crack about it. So
Uh-huh.
uncivilized,
Yes.
Matthew Pounder. But now I've used a blaster. I was expecting him to say, "Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid," because he may as well. Ugh, I hate that thing so much. And yes, I will torture him. I deserve any pain I get from. See, you could say, "Why do you watch it?" You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Hey, watching that show is its own punishment. Just saying.
Yes, and a lot of people do say, you know, why bother? But if you're not talking about it or you're not saying why it's bad, then it's complacency. You need the pushback from the fans to say why this isn't Star Wars or why this isn't Doctor Who.
Right.
Because how else would you get back to what it used to be? How else do you get back
No.
to great entertainment?
You have to. And you have to at least get your voice out there and say it. But again, people can like whatever the hell they want to like. Tim, the Enchantor. Take it easy, money. Have a good one there.
Yes. Good night, Tim.
Um, Matthew Pounder, what's up, dude? I already said that, but it's good to see you there, sir. I thought you were all mad at me for putting the sandworm in your ear. It was like a SETI Alpha eel, but it's a song.
We'll take the Peaches song over whatever else there is. But
yes, indeed. Oh my goodness.
Matthew Pounder brings up a good point. Have you been keeping an eye on Sandman?
You know, I have not, but I was just Claude was just telling me something about it today. So what do you know about so far? Because I know you are, I believe, a fan of that comic, right?
I am, yeah. Back in the day when it first came out, and I'm not a massive fan of Neil Gaiman. I think he's a talented writer, but as a person, I'm not particularly fond of him. I think he's 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 a little bit out there. But I really did like
Yes.
Sandman. I thought it was inventive. I thought it was different. And at the time, I was reading a lot of superhero comics, and getting to read something like Sandman was a breath of fresh air because it was so different.
Yeah, and it was huge at the time.
Hmm.
One thing I know, and this is not spoiler because we haven't seen it, so you can't accuse it of being spoilery. You know about Constantine?
I do. Yes. Yep.
Joanna Constantine?
I think they did that on purpose, and so many
Oh yeah, they
people
did.
were saying, why did you not bring back the actor from Lucifer? And I've got nothing against the actress. I don't think she's a horrible person, but yeah, it's almost like they're going out of their way to and I hate saying it, subverts expectations with these characters, because very few of them, looking at the cast, portray what you are used to seeing on the page. Deaf in particular. Now, I know technically they can appear however they like, there is no set look for them, but Deaf, when you think of her especially, you think of this.
Yes, it's true, Chris. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I guess some people didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, if you're a Constantine fan, you're in the wrong place for that movie. I mean, that didn't. I don't know. There? I thought I lost
I'm
you.
here. No, I'm still here.
So what? I don't know. Why would you? Why is that necessary?
I don't know. I think, I'm guessing they just want to try something different, but there was so much riding on this, and this could have been a fantastic show. I've talked about it before. I don't think it really should have been live action. I think it should have been animated. I thought that would have been great, and
Right.
keep the actors that we had for the fantastic audiobook. Because if no one's heard that, it really is brilliant.
Yeah. Well, there you go. They should do that. I mean, it's just. In fact, I'm always for animation over live action. I've been saying this a lot lately. I'm so sick of what kind of. I'm not so sick of. Still like some of them, but live action superhero movies. Yeah, I think I just prefer anime. I would like to see some good animated ones. That's why we review one every now and then. But do other animated reviews. But speaking of that, did you know there is an animated Death short?
There is, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just saw it not too long ago. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was on one of those DVD Blu-ray. I mean, it was before one of those DC movies.
I really like the Constantine one as well, and we've talked about some of the shorts.
I didn't get to see that one.
Yeah, because we like the was it Jonah Hex as well that we talked
Yeah,
about?
yeah. The Jonah Hex one was great.
Yeah.
Green Arrow,
Yep.
Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Commandy one. I love the Blue Beetle one.
Clubby's the only person on the planet who remembers Commandy.
True, but I loved it. It was pure Kirby. I got to get that one. I don't have it yet. I borrowed it from a friend to watch it, but I got to get that one. Yes, that's true. Nobody remembers Commandy but me. It may belong to me. It may fall under my under my jurisdiction.
If no one's claimed it, I think you should take it and look after it.
I would give it to the Kirby family, though. Hey, I read Commandy. Says,
Hey.
Of course you did. Joanna Constantine, a distant ancestor of John Constantine, and has a run-in with Dream during for Netflix series will feature. Okay, she's just in the present day rather than John himself.
Yes, and then we've got obviously female Lucifer, which is Gwendolyn Christie, who I like the actress. Don't get me wrong, but I wish they'd brought back the actor that we had from Lucifer.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen that. So it's all to be completely new and different, eh? When is that supposed to grace us with its presence?
I believe they're saying tentatively summer 2022, but I don't think there's a set date unless it's been announced with this new trailer. But it's another one of those. One, it's Netflix, and they just they don't seem to want to commit to it because there's been so much backlash.
They're in a lot of trouble, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Without Cobra Kai, I'd have dumped mine. I mean, after that, I might get rid of it after the last season. I might get rid of mine.
I dumped it quite a while back when that unpleasant film came out.
I don't blame you one bit.
Yes,
See, I don't have control over mine, so I just have the codes for one that the whole family shares. But I'd never use it. I was using it to review Star Trek, but they lost all but Deep Space Nine. And they're probably going to lose that soon.
Yes. Fortunately, we have it on physical.
You do. You have Deep Space Nine on physical? Cool. I don't.
Yep.
It's expensive as all.
They are expensive, yeah.
Oh, especially that I guess there's a new Blu-ray. I don't even want to know how much that costs.
Well, people have been asking for Blu-ray for a long time, so I'm kind of glad that it did.
They did do a Blu-ray of it, right? Yeah. Okay. They're never going to remaster it, but I don't care about that. You know.
No, just release it as it was so we can enjoy it, please.
Yeah, you don't have to remaster it. I mean, because the DS9. I mean, because the TNG or Blu-ray, and it doesn't make an episode better just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Blu-ray, it's remastered, but see how much that sucker's going for right now on Blu-ray. Do I want to know? No, that's not it. It is on Blu-ray, isn't it? Maybe not.
Kal-El says they are. So he says he recently got an email from Netflix warning that DS9 was going away soon. That's a shame.
Okay. Well, where is this sucker? DS9. Is it or is it not on Blu-ray? Friends, what do you have? You have Blu-ray or just DVD?
Just DVD.
It may not be on Blu-ray yet. They were recently got an email from Netflix warning that that figures. So anyone that doesn't know, but again, anyway, so the DVD is let's see what that sucker's going for right now. Probably, what's wrong with you? Too much. If I were to give it a wild guess, that's my scientific assessment. Come on. All right, DVD. God Lord, you suck. My computer sucks. I'm sorry. Because I would like to get it. Because I think I need to get the physical of it.
Chris and Kal-El said it hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. So looks like the DVD sets already won't run anywhere from like $70 to $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just depending. So it's not too bad. It's 7 seasons. It's not really a bad price.
No, you get a lot, and obviously you'll get whatever extras they throw in, and it'd be nice if they added the documentary to it as well.
Yes, I went to the theater to see that. Hey, Keely Chow, Roll Tide.
Hey, Keely, good to see you.
It's not a very sincere Roll Tide, but a Roll Tide nonetheless. I can't lie to Keely. This is Louisiana.
Begrudging.
Yeah, it's like, God, Roll Tide. Out of a Gorn said it. Roll Tide. Ow. Hey, I paid for it with that ow. Sorry. Yeah, well, what can you do? Oh, my goodness. Well, Purple, it is very late for you. And I can't thank you enough for hanging out here with me tonight.
Oh,
because it seems like 2 minutes. 2 hours seems like 2 minutes.
It has gone quick, hasn't it? And we sort of talked about comics, but we didn't get around to the...
That's okay. I just want to hang out with you. It's fine. Mark doesn't mind.
To what Clubby wanted to talk about. But hold on to that topic, and we will do it next time. I promise.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's cool. Yeah. No, I meant Mark C, not Mark D with a C. I know he minds.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark C wouldn't have minded, though. So, what's going on? So, what is going on? What do you got coming up on your channel for this weekend? What else? Tell everybody what the deal is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be back technically tonight, but that will be on Salty Texas Seas channel, and we have a Tuesday night panel show, which is always a lot of fun to do.
Indeed.
I will be back on Wednesday on my channel. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about, but it's probably going to be kind of probably a news roundup. I think that would be pretty cool. We've got more videos coming to do with the paranormal and the supernatural. Really loving getting to do this. It's like a palate cleanser. So it's great to talk kind of pop culture and TV and movies, but to deviate away and talk about the supernatural and the weird is great as well. And then I will be back also on Friday, and a T-shirt historian will be joining me. Fantastic.
We got a full docket pretty much for the rest of the week then there.
Pretty much, yes. And any other streams that I'm lucky enough to join, also looking forward to. But next week is going to be the one that's going to be very up in the air because I will be traveling.
Yes. So how will you handle the show? You don't know yet, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might be able to get a very short, condensed show out on Monday, but depending on what happens. But yes, after that, I will be over in the US and getting to catch up with lots of friends for the Dallas Fan Expo. So really looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Absolutely. That is greatness. I love it. Well, thank you so much for hanging with me tonight. Let's see, quick show notes here. And then we'll say our goodbyes, everybody. Let's see. Tomorrow night, I think I'm going to be on with on Nick Weiser's Toxic Tuesday. He's asked me to come on because they're doing one of my all-time favorite movies, RoboCop.
Ooh, nice. Great movie.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites. I think before that, I'll probably step on and hang out with Nick and I'll hang out with Tom with Midnight Jets a little bit before that probably. And let's see here. Wednesday night is going to be the usual wild card Wednesday night. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. We'll think of something. And then of course, Thursday night, as always, the clubhouse will be open with my wonderful First Officer Raquel and the great Mark D with a C, great chief engineer. So looking forward to that. And show note coming up on June the 30th, 9 p.m. Eastern, Iconicon 2. I believe that's the first night of Iconicon 2. The Great Retro Blasting channel is holding its second annual Iconicon Virtual Con. And with many, many great panels to look forward to that week, I will be handling one on toy comics, toy-based comics. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And please, I'll be joined by, of course, the great Michael French of Retro Blasting, Jeff Barker of Chasing 80s Toys, and Matt Swafford of Endless Bullets podcast. So some spiffing gentlemen. And of course, Saturday night we'll have Saturday Night Star Trek and No Sub Rosa. Misa No Sub Rosa Saturday. Which I'm just, aren't they thrilled? See, you can tell. You can feel the thrill right there, can't you?
Feel it already.
Yeah. So we'll try to do we'll try to make it fun, even though we won't have Sub Rosa, because it was a lot of fun actually. Yeah, confession part, but we have more fun with the sucky episodes. I know it's terrible.
It is fun to poke fun at things in a loving way.
Yes, because we still do love Star Trek, but I don't know the way Raquel talks about. Let's just see. She hates Patrick Stewart now. She calls him Poopy Stew. She calls Jonathan Frakes Jonathan Fakey Pants. Oh God,
I love Raquel.
Pants. She is. Oh, she's so love her. I love her. She's amazing. And oh my God, when she hates something, you think I clobber? Well, good Lord. So anyway, thank you all so much. We're going to run out. Play our intro outro as soon as I play these important messages. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You know what I forgot?
What's that?
All the goodbyes. Anyway, thank you all. Zacharot, the great comic relief crusader, Keely Chow, Cal L, D-Bud Martin, Hungry Boy, Mark D with a C, Keely Chow, Phantom Outsider, Lynn Rod, Matthew Pounder, Eric, the great Eric K, the great Chris Persia, and I think I got it. I didn't get everybody, but anyone else who was here that I missed. Sorry.
Did we miss? We got Lenrod. We've got D-Bud Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We had such a great crowd
Thank
today.
you all so much.
Thank you, guys.
Tim the Enchanter was here.
Yep. Cardinal Sin.
The great Cardinal Sin. Yes. I can't believe I forgot to do. Forgot to do that. I'm senile.
I had to tack it on at the end just in case to do another live stream.
Sometimes we don't do. Sometimes we just go ahead and say goodbye. If I miss anyone, I am. Oh yeah, Salty Texas was here. Our good friend Salty Texas.
Salty,
your pal.
Zax was here. Canadian Spider-Man.
And Zax, yes, right.
Tim the Enchanter. Great to see you guys. Thank you, everyone.
And I don't think I have a link ready, but I'll get one put in there for next time. So please go to Salty Texas channel and subscribe to his great channel as well. He's got a great channel there that he is often joined by Purple on. So thank you so much. And if I missed anyone, I do apologize. Now we'll play out with our important messages in the credits. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Steve Mitchum.
For you, Mr. Worf, I would love to explore Klingon memories.
Klingons do not allow themselves to be probed.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
Crap, 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 crap.